Hello, welcome back to another Godzilla Battleline video. Today I wanted to give my opinion on top 5 leaders I would change in the game. I'm going to tell you guys how I would change their abilities and make them far better operating leaders. So, without further ado, let's hop right in. First up on our list for leaders that we would change is Spacegodzilla. Spacegodzilla is notoriously one of the worst leaders in the game, and he's also been here since launch, so he's always been pretty bad. He did just receive a range boost, so he can hit like things around Ultraman and Manila. But as far as his ability goes, let's take a look at it here. We got Energy Gauss 2 for producing 6 crystals across the battlefield and increasing damage dealt by allied units near the crystals by 20%. So the crystals spawn very randomly all around the map, very hard to control, and the damage boost it gives off for being so random is only 20%, which is the lowest in the game. So to fix that, I think you should give the player a lot more control over the ability. Let's switch the crystals spawning randomly all over the map to the crystals spawning in an area of effect, like a circle, maybe Psychic Chorus size circle, that would trap units inside. So let's say Godzilla 89 is walking and you could place it around him and trap him inside. And the crystals should also give off a higher damage boost because 20% is pretty low and the crystals do not have a high buff range. So I think that making it around 40% would be a lot more fitting for Spacegodzilla and would make him a way better leader overall. Up next, in the number 4 spot, we got Mr. Ultraman. We just used Ultraman and actually just made a video talking about how bad he is as a leader. And what really holds him back is how high of an energy cost his ability is that is very low in stats. So let's take a look at his ability. Deals 150 damage in a straight line, so similar to Mechagodzilla's blast off ability. And for allied units on the battlefield, excluding himself, he increases attack power by 20% and movement speed by 30% for 10 seconds. So analyzing that, 20% damage, lowest in the game, 30% movement speed is actually the lowest in the game. There's nothing that buffs below 50% movement speed, so that is extremely low. And for a measly 10 seconds. You cannot use Ultraman's damage boost and movement speed boost to its full effectiveness in 10 seconds. It's just not possible, and it's definitely not possible for 4 cost. The cost for this ability should be 2 at most, so at 4 it just doesn't work. My change to this would be to just raise the boosts all up. Let's increase the damage power to a 40% boost and the movement speed buff to 60% for a total of 15 seconds. I think that is a lot more fitting for a 4 cost ability, and doubling the power on those I think would make Ultraman a lot better. I still don't think he would be amazing, which says a lot for how much we're doing for him with these buffs, but I think it is a step in the right direction and would help this dude out a lot. Up next, in our number 3 spot, which is our only 3-star leader, is Mechagodzilla. So Mechagodzilla, let's take a look at his ability. 3 cost for 150 damage knockback, similar to Ultraman like we said, and reduces the time it takes for facilities on the battlefield to generate allied units by 50% for 15 seconds. So I just used Mechagodzilla actually not too long ago, and it's not too bad, but as we all know, anyone who uses Mechagodzilla does not use him for the ability and only uses him for his stats, which means the ability is pretty bad overall. Not only that, military units are pretty bad overall, so the facilities that Mechagodzilla buffs are just not very good, paired with this ability which isn't very good, so let's fix that. And I think it's a very easy change. Let's lower the energy cost from 3 to 2. And let's add 100% damage boost to all facilities. So that way facilities will be hitting way harder. The MBOT base and helicopters will be doing a lot more damage. and the energy cost will be lowered to 2, so it'll make the whole combo a lot easier. Helicopters and MBOB bases are not particularly too strong in this game, so I think buffing Mechagodzilla Leader would help those out as well and would make the game balance overall a lot better. In our number 2 spot, we have a notoriously bad leader ability for Godzilla Ultima, fan favorite Godzilla, newer Godzilla, and his ability is quite bad, so let's take a look at it. Energy costs 3 to deal 350 damage in a fan shape and reduce the cost of effect battle pieces, not event, by 1 for 15 seconds. So this ability as a whole does not work. The energy cost is way too high for it to function properly. So a very simple fix to Ultima's ability to make him useful would be to drop the energy cost from 3 to 1. And let's also add a 20% damage boost to effect type battle pieces. I think a 20% damage boost would be a very nice touch. It is not like a ton, 20% isn't super high. And lowering the energy cost of the ability to 1 will just make its effectiveness so much better, because it'll allow you to use those effect pieces a lot easier. So I think Ultima's change is quite simple, but would be quite effective. And in the number 1 spot for leaders I would change for Godzilla Battle Line, it's gonna have to go to Shin Godzilla. So Shin Godzilla is not a great unit. He hasn't been very effective since he's been added in a short amount of time. And I think making him a very good leader would help make, Shin Godzilla fans a little more happy if he's not going to be so good as a unit. So let's take a look at his ability. Energy cost 5 to deal 150 damage and burn to all enemy units on the battlefield. By the way, you guys, do you notice the burn effect when you use Shin Godzilla Leader? Because I sure do not. I do not notice this burn effect at all. Moving on. And it lowers your opponent's stored energy by 4. So the damage part of this is kind of a secondary thought. It's really lowering the opponent energy by 4. I think a solid fix to Shin Godzilla Leader would be to make this burn matter. It does not do anything. So let's change the burn to burn all enemy units on the battlefield by 25% of their maximum HP, including the leader. So let's say like energy base is down for the enemy, a couple units on the field. You activate Shin Godzilla Leader ability, burns the energy base down 25%, burns the leader HP down 25%, and burns all the units on the field down 25%. I think a sufficient amount of damage makes sense for the high cost and for just how crazy the effect looks. And on top of that, the taking away of energy can be countered by your opponent by just deploying stuff. They cannot go into the negative, so that can be countered. I think making Shin Godzilla a burn leader that's like kind of like a Kiryu archetype, where instead of doing 90% for a one shot at the end, you're doing burn damage earlier on to the whole team. I think this would make Shin Godzilla a lot better as a leader. I think it would make him more fun, and I think it would make the Shin Godzilla fans a lot more happy to use him. And that is my top 5 leaders I want changed for Godzilla Battle Line. Of course, there is probably another 5 that could easily be changed, but these were 5 that came to mind that I thought would need the changes, or I had good ideas for changes, or they just need changes overall. I think we can all agree that these leaders are not super good, and a lot of leaders in this game are not super good. Comment down below any other leaders you would change. Comment down below if you liked the leaders I changed. Maybe you thought of a different change. Maybe you totally thought my change was the best. Let me know down below. Thank you for watching. Hit the subscribe button. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good rest of your day. Take care.